Hello and welcome back to episode 6 of Doubletrouble. This time we are again here with me, Masaki, and George.
Hi.
We are going to be talking about Japanese high school, what kind of high school we went to. And, you know, if I do say so myself, it was kind of a weird, unique school, so.
More on the weird side than unique.
Yeah, indeed. And our school was, you know, middle school and high school was connected or, you know, conjoined. And
Nice.
and that already is kind of weird. So, you know, we decided to talk about school life, middle school and high school.
Mm-hmm. All the names, all the stuff that's sensitive will be not synonyms, pseudonym. The pseudonyms will be applied, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, of course. And we're not going to name the school. All right, so the school, it was located in Aichi Prefecture.
I think you can say the C as well, right?
Where it is then.
Let's
not say that.
Alright, we can cut that out.
Okay, it was located, it is located, our high school is located in Aichi Prefecture.
Aichi Prefecture, yes.
And, you know, it was a rural area.
Pretty rural.
Nothing there. A lot of tambo and
Rice fields.
Yeah. When you think of Japan, there's a lot of rice fields. Our school is just surrounded by those. And, you know, every time we would have to go to school by bus.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really far journey from my house, especially, you know that, yeah. From my house to the school. The train took about 1.5 hours. And then we have to get on the bus for about like 20 minutes to school. So that kind of explains how far and rural our school really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's 20 minutes on the bus on a good day, and the traffic can be pretty shocking.
Yeah, and to be honest, when you look at other, like, for example, in America, school buses aren't that luxurious. But, you know, our school bus was okay, you know, I would say.
Luxurious in the price.
Yeah.
Price only.
It was pretty comfortable. The seats were pretty comfy. And, you know, I heard that in middle school, you guys had a better bus, I believe.
Well, there were many separate lines.
Mm-hmm.
The one that goes the furthest, yeah, that had a, how can I say, not a double decker, but huge.
Really?
One where you see where travelers use, yeah, big ones.
And the reason I don't know that is because I came in during 7th grade, in the middle of 7th grade.
At the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, at the end of 7th grade. And, you know, I think that bus just, I don't know why, but it just disappeared when I came, you know.
Run on budget.
Oh, no money.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the train going there, you know, everyone in Japan basically goes on the train to go to school. You know, your typical anime, what you see in anime is true. You have to go on the train for a long ass time, especially because I lived in a different, you know, how do you say, city, basically.
District.
Yeah. And, you know,
postcodes or whatever, yes.
And there were 3 time zones for the buses, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, let's go with that, yeah.
Yeah, and one was like in 6:30 or something. It was really early. And there were 3, and then you could go to school earlier, and yeah, you could just adjust when you want to go to school. If you have clubs and stuff like that, you have to go to school quickly, and then it's called asaren. You have to go to school, practice, like if you're in the soccer club, you have to practice soccer in the morning for about, I would say, an hour.
Well, I felt it was a little bit stupid because you come from all that way, wake up really early, and then you only practice an hour.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm on the train longer than I actually practice when you think about it. So that's kind of dumb, actually. We should say that.
That was my opinion, just a little bit.
That is true when I think about it. So when I say clubs, I was in multiple clubs throughout middle school and high school. I kind of mentioned that in episode 1, I believe. I was in table tennis. I quit that. Tennis. I quit that. And then in high school, I did basketball and soccer at the same time. How about you?
Mostly table tennis. Like I said, didn't win a single game, but that's not the point. And then for maybe say 2 weeks, I was part of the soccer club. We got stories to tell.
Yeah, we got stories to tell for that. We could just like jump into that story. I would say junior high. No. We were like seniors, huh?
It was our last year.
Oh yeah, it was.
Right at the end of 2019.
Oh, so in our senior year, we had like a final game, and George came into the soccer club just for that final game. Am I correct?
Yeah, because I wanted all the glory.
Yeah. He came up just to the end game. He didn't come to any practices, and he just showed up.
I did go to some practices, mind you.
Oh, really?
Like 2 weeks before the game. I know it doesn't count.
Oh.
But most of the practices 2 weeks before, I wasn't there, mate.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
It's just I didn't make much of an impression.
So how many people did we actually have? Like 15, right? And we only had like a few bench players. And it was such a bad team. But, our school in general, I've said this on another episode, but, our school is really bad at sports, basically. And our school kind of focuses on English, I would say. From other schools, people say that our English is very high level. Because our school only accepts returnee students.
Returnees.
Yeah.
Or in my case, Hafu or mixed race.
That's true, yeah. And that's why English was taught by native speakers, a lot of foreign teachers. So that was pretty cool. We got to improve our English. But sports-wise, it was pretty bad. But when we were in middle school, the tennis club and the dance club were really, really good, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you could say it's bad, but they have some of the accomplishments of the past.
Yeah,
there was some glory, as you could say.
Yeah, and then when we went to high school, all that glory just disappeared because we were just trash, basically.
Well, I mean, the scale of the school just reduced and reduced.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't help.
I feel like when we're like explaining our school, we're just giving away what kind of like which school it is. Like when you probably returnee only and then reduce is probably gonna come up, but that's not the point. I mean,
we can cut this out.
I mean, no, it's fine because it's gonna be gone anyways. I mean, the school's not gonna exist in like 3, maybe 2 years.
Oh, let's reconsider about this. But go on.
And our sports, basketball. Maybe when I didn't even go to that school, maybe it had some glory, but other schools were way better than ours. I don't know why, but it just was. And soccer, I don't think soccer, the team was that good. But tennis and dance, like I said, were popping.
No, well, I still remember our coach once said that this is quite a while back. But our school finished 3rd in the prefectural tournament once.
Tennis?
Soccer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there have been some times where they accomplished seriously. Wow.
But the tennis club have went to the country.
Okay.
Like
countrywide tournament.
Yeah. Which is really impressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the dance. I think the dance club was like the best one in all the clubs in our school.
Box office.
Yeah. And how far did they go? I don't know, but they went as far as to the country tournaments and stuff. And
nationwide.
Yeah, nationwide. That's the word. And that was pretty impressive. But from there on, other clubs. How's the table tennis club? Has it seen any glory? I'm not dissing. I don't know why you're laughing, but
well, I didn't really contribute much to the glory. I have mentioned this right in episode 1 again.
Oh, by the way, everyone, he was a captain.
No, vice captain.
Oh, vice captain. Oh, sorry. So, he had some glory there. He was a vice captain.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
And, back to the soccer club that we were both in. We went to practice every 4 days in a week, and practice wasn't that hard. We were all playing around, and then once the coach comes out, we're all like, the coach was hella scary, huh? And once the coach comes, we start doing fucking dribbling drills. We start doing shooting drills.
Militarized.
All the senpai are like, okay, line up. And then they get like hella majime, serious.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I don't know. It's really funny. And our final our intai, how do you say that?
How can I say retire? So our last match, maybe.
Yeah, our last match before we graduate, basically.
Yeah.
And our last match, me, George, and some 14, 13 other members went to this tournament, I guess. And it was a pretty good match, I would say.
The last one was.
Oh yeah, the last one was. The other ones, it was like 3-0.
Yeah, if I remember the logistics correctly, so we played 4 games in total. Because there were 4 teams, and you have to play every single one to determine from 1st to 4th.
Oh yeah, I just remembered. Yeah.
And it was hosted in our school. Just by luck. And I have many memories of it because first of all, our captain, and was it a vice captain as well, didn't appear on the first day.
Yeah. I think he had
flu.
He had the flu. He didn't come, and we didn't have a vice captain. We only had 15 members. Like 5 of the members weren't even actually on the soccer team, and it was tragic. But out of 4 games, how many did we win? Do you remember? 0.
We got battered in the first 3.
Yeah.
And then the last one was dramatic. I think it was about 4-4.
I think it was like 5-5.
5-5 maybe. Then he went to penalties.
Yeah, that was like an anime. That was like a movie. But the first 3, it was like
6-1, 5-1.
Yeah, and we got 1 goal, and we were like, yes. And we still have like 5 more goals to score until we win. But the first 3, let's just put those aside because that's kind of embarrassing. But the 4th one though, you remember, it's 5-5. Went to penalties. I shot one.
You scored an incredible goal.
And yeah. We have to mention that, bro. I was on top of the world at that point.
Well, I was on the bench. No surprise. And I was, Masaki was on the ball, so I was looking at far side, and he slaloms about 2 people, and I thought, oh gosh, there's a bit of tension here. And right on the edge of the box, it was sharp, it was straight, it was powerful, hits the top corner across the goalkeeper, and then just, oh my gosh,
dude. And to add on, I think it was 2-3. We were down by 1, and we were like, oh no, we have to get this point. And then I went to the right side of the box, from like outside of the box, would you say?
Just on the edge, yeah.
Yeah, and then I shot it. I was like aligned with the goalkeeper.
You went across the goalkeeper, yeah.
Yeah, and then I shot it for some reason. I don't know why. I felt like a fucking football star. And I shot it top corner. I just bank it in. I'm like, holy shit. I just did something incredible. I look back to my teammates. They're all walking back. They're all walking back. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then, like, all the other goals, I think before that, were just normal goals, cross, like, and then shoot. And then everyone's like hella hyped. They're like, yeah, nice goal. I just equalized and shot from edge of the box into the top corner, and no one was hyped except for George.
Well, I had 2 other people on the bench, and we just said, what's going on? The bench went wild, I can assure you, but everybody else was...
And the coach was like, "Oh, nice shot." That's all he said.
I think he was more surprised though, really.
He was like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, wow." And all my teammates just went back to the other side. They were just waiting waiting at the half line. And I was just walking back like I felt like I did something wrong. I was like, wait, was it like offsides? Am I not getting something? Like, I thought I wasn't getting something. So that was a really funny moment. I was really proud of that.
It was the best goal and the weirdest goal.
I thought I did something wrong. I thought like I did a foul. It was kind of like, but it was a clean goal. And I'm very happy that you remember it.
I remember clearly, mate. It was straight from the anime books.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And I equalized. One of my teammates. We scored again.
Yeah.
I think 4-4.
It was like a seesaw game, basically.
Yeah. And then 5-5. And then went to penalties. And then what happened then?
I mean, we lost the penalties.
Yeah. We lost, basically.
But there was a lot of drama in between that. I mean, can't you tell me a little bit more? Because it's a bit hazy at the moment.
I think the captain went first, of course. He scored. They scored 1-1, and then I think I was the second one to shoot. I scored 2-2. They scored again, and then I think one of the teammates in our team, of course, missed, and then was it just one miss?
I think it was one miss, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then I felt so bad for him.
Right.
Like, he was so down. I think he was a kohai. Yeah, he was.
So, a year or two below us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad. I was like, it's not that deep. I made a miracle shot. I'm satisfied. I don't give a fuck if we win or lose. So, and, we did penalties. We lost that. But, it was a really exciting game.
Well, perhaps.
Do you have any memories like during that game?
Of course, man. I mean, you of course. I'm basically like I said, it was an exciting game. It was a shame that it was for the third place playoff, not the final.
Yeah, that's true.
And all the games I participated in, I lost 5 or 6-1. So bitter memories. But what? Okay, I'm gonna mention this. But what I find really memorable is that there was this kid who likes to. He's a big moaner, right? And so I was playing left back most of the time, and he played left wing. This is on the first day, and because we're on the side of the coach, this left winger always got told off for not tracking back. Because he had enough. On the second day, he called in sick.
Really? I don't remember that. Oh my god. Oh, I really didn't know that.
So, personally, that was really, really hilarious. So even though the captain and all the good players came back in on the second day, there was people leaving as well.
Oh my god. We had such a bad soccer team. Yeah, I don't even want to call it a team, to be honest. We just like gathered people who want to play soccer. That's basically it. And I played all over the place. I played right wing. I played striker, and the coach just played around, just putting me everywhere. And he put me in striker, and then I executed, and then no one. No one celebrated. I'm gonna keep saying that. I'm pissed.
I was personally just happy to be there, honestly.
Yeah, and talking about coaches, that coach was very scary. I think he was the PE teacher as well.
Yeah, for most parts.
Yeah, and
for high school especially.
Yeah. And one of my friends, he was like held by his collar. Yeah, he was held by his collar, and he was lifted up. Gosh. And another friend of mine had a chair thrown at him by the coach. And that kind of stuff made the coach scary to everyone in the school. He was
reputation.
Yeah, he had this strict, you don't want to mess with that guy type vibe. He had this aura around him. And the other coaches, the tennis coach is kind of...
Do you want to go into that? Is it unmentionable?
I really don't know. We could go into a lot of teachers, actually, because, we experienced a lot of teachers in 6 years.
Maybe some of them only available on OnlyFans when we make them.
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk about, my basketball coach.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah.
Let's call him Mr. Sanchez. Okay, Mr. Sanchez was hella nice. He was my basketball coach. When I did something wrong, but when I did something wrong, he would yell at me, but he had that bubbly type of vibe, like polar, like completely opposite to the soccer coach.
Yeah,
and when he misses, he yells at you, but it's kind of funny because he had that kind of reputation of being that funny, bubbly, kind guy. So in the basketball club, he was everyone's favorite. And during practice, he's not that mad. Usually, he's really nice. He's like, "Come on, actually practice," because we would just fuck around. But during games, he would yell so much.
Really?
Yeah, he would yell a lot. And when we miss, and I'm a point guard, and when I dribble, and then when no one's open, I just shoot a 3, and then he yells at me so much. He's like, "Don't shoot a 3; it's not gonna go in." And then when it does go in, he just shuts up, which is kind of funny. But he was a really nice teacher. And that's
I can tell, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite teachers. I would say he was our history teacher. Was he?
History, a little bit of geography, maybe.
Yeah. So, who was your favorite teacher?
My favorite, well, in Japanese you say "osewanatta," as in I'm most grateful to.
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas, which you know well
yeah.
too. Mr. Thomas, well, I mean, out of all the 6 classes that I was a part of from junior high to end of high school, I was in maybe 3 or 4. So, well, I won't say I know him well, not as much as you do, but there's a bit of history, you could say.
Yeah, and he was our Japanese teacher.
Japanese language teacher.
Yeah, Japanese language teacher. And he had this reputation of... What kind of reputation would you say? He was kind of close with the students, but, still had this reputation of being kind of hated.
Nasty comments, maybe.
Yeah. Everyone would be like, "Oh, you're so nice. Like, don't do this." And, like, they would be close, but behind his back, behind Mr. Thomas's back, we would, like, talk shit, basically. Yeah, that kind of relationship.
So a facade, maybe.
Yeah. And the reason why George said that I know Mr. Thomas well is because he was my tennis coach. And, he was a really strict, but I guess a weird way to say it is a loyal coach, basically. And I was in the tennis club for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in it for 2 years, and he coached me all the way through. And we went decently to the prefecture tournaments and stuff, but it wasn't like I loved him or anything.
Right.
He would yell at me a lot, and because of Japanese culture, there's kind of hierarchy system.
Of course.
And senpai, people that are older than you, they get to say stuff, and Mr. Thomas didn't forget that, of course, and he just yells at me, says, "Pick up that ball, you bitch." Basically says that all the time. And he just like bullied me around. And in the 2 Truths and a Lie video, if you guys have seen that,
please see it.
I think it's episode 3.5 or something. In that video I mentioned climbing over a 7-foot fence, and that is because of him, actually, Mr. Thomas. We got out of practice that day, me and 2 of my friends. We ran and then climbed over you guys would get that joke if you watched that. Climbed over that fence just to not go to practice. And that's how much we hated the tennis club. Oh, yeah, by the way, I hate the tennis club. And, I hated the tennis club, I would say. And, the teacher was hated, / coach was hated by a lot of the students. But he was, like, for 6 years, he guided me through because, I came in at the end of 7th grade.
Yeah.
He guided me through. He was my teacher for homeroom. And, I don't hate him now, but during, when I was in tennis club, I hated him, basically.
Complicated. Yeah. Well, speaking of people that I don't like so much.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Do you want to talk about Mr. Jackson?
Oh, okay, go ahead. Mr. Jackson. Oh, boy.
Well, Mr. Jackson, over the years, there were many so-called native English teachers. I had one from England, Coventry, actually. One American. There were a Canadian dude. Wasn't there?
Canadian.
There were Aussies, whatever. But with Mr. Jackson, neither of us really didn't get on that well. Yeah, it's safe to say.
Yeah, we had both of us we hated each other basically.
Yeah, it's me that I can't help myself sort of talking back to him. As in,
I remember this so clearly. I feel like you should explain the English class thing.
Right. So most of the time, you would divide into 4 groups depending on your competence. Sorry, and that didn't show. Well, it's weird because I was in the top class even with this kind of
big up
comprehension. So maybe the last 2 years we were the only boys in the top class, and Mr. Jackson would be the native part of the side, right?
Yeah.
And the parts that I didn't like, well, it's difficult. What can I start?
Basically, if you say it really simply, he hated us. We hated him, and it's probably because it's our fault. Come on, let's be honest. We would always talk in class because there were, let's say, 15 students in his class. We were the only 2 dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is in Japan. Guys don't really talk to girls. Girls don't really talk to guys. There's a barrier. And me and George would just talk all day in class. And that's one of the reasons why we call this channel Double Trouble. It's because in class...
Oh, okay.
In class...
I didn't know that, actually.
Really? I told you! In class, we were the only 2 that, we were the, troublemakers. He would yell at us in front of the whole class and, say, shut up, don't talk in class while all the girls are talking. Which was very irritating, honestly. All the girls would be talking in class. And when we talk, when we were like, hi, he's like, bro, what the fuck did you say? And then he, gets pissed.
I mean, I do admit my own faults, of course, but there were some aspects of it that I just didn't quite get it. Right?
You talked back to him a lot, though. What did you say? You said something really bad to him. I was like, whoa, this guy has some balls.
I mean, there are too many, really.
Yeah, there's a lot. And, other English teachers, we had some issues. Remember the dictionary one?
I think this is one for the OnlyFans, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, we shouldn't go into that. But, Mr. Jackson, at the end, I didn't hate him that much. But in class, I knew that he hated me. And and one of the reasons why I despised him in the end of senior year in high school was because when applying for college, you have to ask your not you have to, but it's advised that you should ask and consult your English teacher because I'm going to a university where I study English, kind of where I use English basically. So I consulted him, saying like, I want to go to this university, so and so, and he was like, no, you shouldn't go to that. You probably can't.
Oh, because of your
abilities and my intelligence. and he
Or
was
lack of, rather.
yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the teachers were like, you shouldn't apply to that university. You should have a lot more, you know, like I shouldn't say worse, but
Apprehensive of your predicament, maybe.
yeah, and they were just very doubtful.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they didn't really trust that I could apply for this college and study for it.
Yeah.
And when I actually got into that college, I was like, bam, look at this. And he's like,
show who's boss.
yeah, and he was like, oh, congratulations. I wanted to punch him in the face, but we move.
Maybe we're spewing a bit too much negativity. Do you want to move on to?
That is true. Well, no, I want to talk about my. I already talked enough about who I hate, but I don't hate this teacher. Okay, let's call him Mr. Omar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Mr. Omar was the girls' tennis club's coach.
Okay.
And he was a PE teacher as well.
Ain't techie now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I was in tennis club, he would sometimes come to the boys, the boys team. And one of my friends that was a girl, she said, and it was a rumor that he would
allegedly,
okay, he would touch girls and some like creepy ass shit like that, and everyone hated him. Everyone was like, oh, that guy's gross. And in PE class, should I say this? The swimming class? Should I not?
Let's be mainly for OnlyFans.
Okay, let's for OnlyFans. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that. But basically he was a creep, and not many people liked him. Basically.
So we had some weird ass people.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say it that way.
And I say Mr. Omar is a creep, but there's a lot more teachers that was a creep, that was weird, that was confusing. Our school had a lot of like bizarre teachers, honestly, I would say.
Were the other creeps, really?
Yeah, in the dance club, that guy was rumored to be like, because there's only girls in the dance club.
Right. I
I
was always dubious of the complexion of it, I must say, but I didn't think much of it.
Yeah, stuff like that. That I heard it and I was like, whoa, like in a school, come on, like fucking pedo.
But it is something about Japan, isn't it, that being a pedo, or hiding the fact they are pedo is easier, you could say.
Maybe, yeah, because there's a lot of like weird and creepy people in Japan. I have to say, and I'm gonna like get off topic, so I'm not gonna like go on, but we could like move on to to a more brighter topic. Okay. Some classes that we had that are kind of unique to Japan.
Okay.
Some PE classes. We did some soccer, some dodgeball. Soccer, I assume you guys, a lot of people do, apart from Japan. But dodgeball, do you have any other things or classes that was kind of unique to Japan?
I don't know whether it's unique, but the things I remember quite clearly. One is called Soranbushi.
Oh my god.
I don't know how you say in English, but so this is a song made for the fishermen. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think
Fishers.
So.
Fishermen. Thank you. In the morning to get them going, like before
to hype them up.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's true though. Yeah. Before the voyage, and I don't know why, but for about 3 months we were really forced to train quite hard about that.
And it was a dance. There would be music playing, and the PE teachers would say, like, they would teach us the moves, and then we would sing along and be like Sora, and then
copy.
For like 3 months, that's all we did in PE class. And then there's a final test where the teacher recorded us and like reviewed the tape, like VAR, and then gave us grades off of how like well we danced. That was very weird.
I just didn't. I don't know what I mean. Maybe it's good for say teamwork, team bonding.
Nah.
But
Just play soccer then.
but it wasn't exactly testing your athletic abilities,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I didn't quite get what the idea was.
I guess like Japanese culture or something like that. It's not like a foreign school or anything. Like I don't know why we did it, but we danced. And did we sing? Did we sing along? Parts of it, yeah.
Shout.
Oh, we shouted. We Sora. Oh my god. The good old days. Yeah, that's a really good one. I didn't think of that.
I didn't like that bit at all.
And no one liked it. And like, why was it recorded? Like, delete the footage like right now.
One for the creeps, maybe.
Yeah, and some other things that we did. We played dodgeball, and
Well, talk us a little bit about dodgeball then. Might as well.
in dodgeball, like we said in another episode, a lot of references in this episode, but
But is it uniquely Japan? Because I think
not really.
For PE, really.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and we like when we have nothing else to do, the teachers are like, okay,
Good point.
okay, let's just play dodgeball. So it's like a backup plan, plan B or something like that. And dodgeball, like we said in another episode, I forgot when, but dodgeball is a place where guys can show their athletic ability. So the guys were like throwing like hella hard, and the girls are like, yeah, which is really annoying. But but it was pretty fun, dodgeball.
Yeah, if you're good at dodgeball, then you're official certified Chad.
Yeah, you're a
In
Chad.
yeah.
In America, you would be the American football guy. In dodgeball. So it's so nerdy, huh? When you say it like that. When you compare it to American football. Yeah, that was kind of I guess that's a Japanese thing.
I would say so.
Yeah, playing dodgeball when we have nothing else to do.
How do you say in English? Is it jump boxing, tobibako?
Oh yeah.
It's not maybe not so Japanese, but it is big in Japan.
Yeah,
you gotta
it
admit.
is, yeah.
So jumping over the boxes, I
So,
really struggle with it.
I don't know how to explain it, but there's boxes, I would say, like a meter high, and you have to jump over it with, like you have to put your hands on it.
Yeah.
You have to run, put your hands on it, and then spread your legs. So it's kind of gay, but spread your legs and jump over it. And then what was the whole point of that? Jumping? Like, what kind of skill is that? Parkour? It's basically parkour.
Well, thanks to that training, you were able to climb up the fence, right?
Oh, that makes no sense. And some other things that I thought was unique to Japan was the classrooms.
Okay.
The classrooms, when you go in, it's a sliding door, a wood door. And if you guys like watch anime, it's just like that, basically. And it's a wooden door, gara gara gara, and it makes that sound. You go in, there's a blackboard. It's not a whiteboard, it's a blackboard. There's chalk and everything. And what else is kind of Japanese about that classroom?
Well, on the never mind. Bloody hell. We did some research, okay?
And I would say taking out the trash is kind of a Japanese thing, I would say.
How come?
Every week, there's a trash can for like in the classroom, for each classroom. And over the week, of course the trash is going to fill up, and then every week someone has to throw it away. And how do you say nichoku? This is kind of getting too like descriptive.
Techie. Let's just say person of the day.
Person of the day. Okay, so in Japan, in class, there's always a person of the day that does the aisatsu.
So when you start homeroom,
Yeah.
Ohayo gozaimasu, good morning, gentlemen, whatever, and then you do the cleaning of the blackboard.
Yeah. So you're basically you have to say ohayo gozaimasu and stuff like that, and you're like the captain of the class that day, and it rotates every day. So you have to clean the blackboard, as you said.
Yeah.
And
take some journal if you.
Oh yeah, we had to take a journal every day and say what we did and like like a summary
Yeah.
and what classes we had,
Yeah.
what we did. Oh my god, why did we do that? Like looking back, it's so odd. To be
You
honest.
think?
Yeah, and so basically that person also has to throw away the trash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you have to tie it up and then go to the trash like bin area. You just throw it in and then you have to replace it. So we were basically, like parents. I don't know how to say it. The person of the day is such a weird way to say it, but
I can't think of anything better. Sorry.
yeah, that's a really Japanese thing
Hmm.
to do. And yeah. Oh yeah, and another really Japanese thing is cleaning.
Okay.
Cleaning classrooms is a regular thing.
Well, it's a daily thing.
Well, it's a daily thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So every day after class ends, after school ends, 4 or 5 people have to get the brooms
Mm-hmm.
and then,
Swipe.
yeah, just swipe away.
Yeah. Sweep. Sorry.
Sweep, yeah. Oh my god, we're dumb as fuck. We sweep the floor, we collect all the dust, throw it in the trash, and then throw it away and stuff like that. So we had to clean, and sometimes we either have to get down on our knees and get a towel and then scrub the floor
That was what
once.
every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah,
3 times a year, basically.
but that's still kind of rare for not rare. Like that's really weird for schools abroad. I would say. How about in like the UK? Do you guys ever do that?
I've never been to school in UK, so I'm not the best to answer this. Probably not. No, just think of American schools, but a bit more posh.
Okay. Then I'm gonna assume that there's no cleaning.
Okay.
There's no. How about blackboards?
Probably not. It would be white, actually. Yeah.
No. Okay. So
So
I guess.
there will be people being thrown into the bin.
Oh wow! That's a cultural thing. Jesus. And another very Japanese thing I want to mention is Culture Day
Culture Day.
and Sports Day.
Sports Day.
So Culture Day and Sports Day comes once a year, and everyone's very hype about those days.
Yeah, some people more hyped towards Culture Day than others Sports Day.
Yeah.
I was the nerdy one, so I went for the Culture Day. Big up.
So for the Culture Day, do you want to explain Culture Day?
Well, Culture Day, so every year, it's called Dashimono in Japanese. So normally it's a play, but it doesn't have to be. But anyway, you go to the stage, you have to give something in the auditorium, thank you, for about 20 minutes. And then aside from that, you can have workshops, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Booths? Nah.
So some actually sold cookies, snacks, lunches.
Yeah,
food.
basically like a fair.
Exactly.
So each grade, each classroom has to open up like a booth, and some grades would do haunted houses. Some places would, sell cookies. They would, some of them would, play games like beer pong or something. Not no beer, but with ping pong balls and stuff like that. And each grade had to do a 20-minute play, right?
Exactly.
And everyone dreaded that play basically. But
Really?
some people enjoyed it. I dreaded it. Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. That was the best part. Yeah.
I mean, there are very fun memories about those plays, and I think that's a very Japanese thing as well.
Oh, okay.
Culture
Said
Day.
it,
Yeah, and it was very fun. People from outside of school can come. There were booths outside of the school, not outside of the school, outside of the classrooms, in the schoolyard, everywhere. And it was just a fun, jolly time all day. 2 days actually.
Yes.
Yeah, for 2 days, we just hang around and eat stuff. It's like a festival at your school, basically.
I think the aim is for the showcase of your school.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you could say the aim didn't mean anything for the last few years. But
we move.
yeah, exactly.
And for Sports Day.
Well, to me, this is more Japanese than
Sports Day?
the Culture Day, yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Especially the things that we did, so.
that's true, yeah. I loved sports day, and I looked forward to it like every year. And the things we did were very Japanese, like odama korogashi.
So you get big big balls, yeah. You get those.
You get big balls, yeah.
And then so each team has to create half a circle in person. Right?
Well, so basically the school gets split into red or blue team. So there's red team and then blue team, and then
each team has to make half a circle.
Yeah.
And then so once you start, and then you get to the other side. If I'm not explaining properly, then please tell me in the comments. And then you get back again, and then the people who are not rolling have to be underneath the ball, you could say.
Well, they're sitting down.
Sitting down.
Yeah, and then they're like trying to push the ball.
Yes.
And it's kind of a race to, whoever can get the ball to the end, to the goal first. When we explain this, it sounds really weird. Push the ball to the goal. It's so nerdy. And some other things, there were track races.
Yes.
And the biggest event, I would say, in the sports day was when all the clubs would go against each other.
In track field.
Yeah, in track field.
Yes.
So there would be a track and field thing in our schoolyard, and all the clubs would go against each other. The clubs would make a team for a relay, basically. They would have, how do you say it?
Batons.
Yeah, batons, and then you have to pass it. You know how track works, and it was very intense. The basketball team, the soccer team was OP. Tennis team was OP as well. Basketball team, in the end, we just sucked. But I ran for the basketball team, even though I was in the soccer team as well. But I think that year, soccer team won.
Oh, okay.
And the biggest, the biggest thing about this sports day is the dancho fukudancho, which is basically
captain, vice captains.
Yeah, of the school. So there's a vice captain
and the teams.
Yeah, for the team. So for red team there would be a captain and a vice captain, and then for the blue team there would be also captain and vice captain. And everyone would vote for who should be the captain before the sports day, which is very intense as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me how.
Everyone has to vote. Everyone has to do speeches. Yeah, you have to persuade the audience to vote for them. And I really love that concept of having a captain lead half of the school. So I just love sports day, personally.
Well, I heard that you did one of these speeches. Would you mind talking about it?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. So basically, I'm just gonna rant and say I'm just gonna say excuses. But on that day, I was sick. I had a mask on. I did my speech, and a friend of mine did a speech as well, and he won by like 5 votes or something. And I really wanted to be the captain of red team or something, but unfortunately I lost because I have no clout. But it was very fun though.
What sort of things did you have to mention for the speech? Did you have any criteria? I don't remember what I said, but you just have to say why you want to become the captain, what you did before. So I was a class captain or something like that. And you can say anything, honestly. There's no script or anything. You can just speak from the heart and be like, whoever's more passionate and whoever wants to be the captain is going to get voted. So, I was very salty that I didn't get to be the captain. Now, looking back at it, I really wanted to be the captain, but, it was still fun nonetheless. So I have no worries about that. Well, I mean, speaking of salty in sports days, I mean, when you say Japanese stuff, I think this takes the biscuit or the bread in the sense, pankui kyoso, right?
Oh my god, yeah. I like that segue.
Because, well, I actually was supposed to have bread, but then...
Can you explain the
concept?
Yeah, the concept. It's a really unique thing to do. So
Okay, so in our school's case, there were 4 sections to this race. One of them being pankui, or biting the bread, you could say. So
it sounds so weird. So eating bread, yeah.
But you didn't have to eat the whole thing, just have a bite,
Uh-huh.
and then you can pass it on to the next person. And I really protested against biting the bread, even though I was elected for initially. So I instead did got the baseball bat up, did 10 rounds.
Oh yeah.
Got really dizzy.
Uh-huh.
But then at the last minute, I was able to turn the other way, so I didn't get dizzy.
Oh.
Yeah, and our team finished first. I'm gonna take the credit for that one.
Oh dang! I didn't know that. Damn, you got techers, huh?
Pointless techers.
So there's a thing called bread eating, and dude, everyone's gonna think our school is so weird.
But it's Japanese though. It's not just our school.
So it's like dangling on a string, basically. so there's a stick across the tracks, 4 string for the 4 lanes.
Yeah.
It's dangling down.
4 breads.
There's 4 bread tied to the end of the of the string.
They didn't even toast the bread. It's just so rude.
It's just there. And then you run up to it, and then you bite it, and then you run again, which is very odd, but that's what we did. That was one of the races. And another thing that's very Japanese is kibasen. How do you explain that?
Well, I mean, you could say relay was the highlight, but that was the kibasen is another big one as well.
Yeah, that's a very big event.
I mean, we don't know the English proper translation, but basically you have 4 people for each team, and then the captain or whoever you call it had the hat on top, but you didn't put the hat whole way, did you? Just let it loose.
Well, you just put it on, basically.
Yeah.
And so 2 people are on the bottom.
At the back.
At the back. One person is in the front, making a triangle. And then there's one person getting on top.
Who's got the cap on.
Yeah. So making like it's called kiba. How do you say?
Just imagine the horse of Troy, but in human form, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, basically that. And you put a hat on, and then red versus blue. Each grade has a team. Very intense. Everyone surrounds it like a circle.
Yeah.
And everyone
and the build up as well before.
Yeah.
That was really good.
So basically, each person in the team, and there was an announcer basically, and that announcer would like hype up who's gonna be competing. Like from the red corner, like a boxing event, like from the red corner coming in at 6'10", yeah, and stuff like that, and it would be a lot of hype around it. We would, like I said, surround the people who are competing, and have flags as well. Red team blue versus blue team, and I believe you competed in that, right?
Well, that again it's the exact same story as the soccer thing, but it's because one of the people who was supposed to participate got sick.
Oh my god!
At the last minute, right? And so I was asked, with 30 minutes to go, basically, can you sort of replace this sick lads, please? I thought.
And did you guys win? I don't remember.
No, it was a defeat. Yeah.
No. So each person, it gets pretty violent, I would say.
It can be violent.
Yeah. So the people on the top are basically trying to get each other's hat off. So they're like grabbing wrists. They're like twisting each other, and then the first person to get the other person's hat wins. So it got very intense, I would say.
You never participated in, did you? Especially the high school ones.
I don't think so. I was in the front once, but other than that, no. I wanted to be on top for once, but I was too short, basically. It's
not how athletic you are, it's about how tall you are.
Even though I'm like 6'3", they didn't let me.
Unfortunate.
False image. Oh no. And yeah, that's basically, high school and middle school. Kind of very unique Japanese school, I would say.
Yeah.
And other than that, I think we covered a lot of things that, highlighted our school life. in middle school, high school, and there's a lot of memories and a lot of things we have to talk about on OnlyFans.
Unfortunately,
a lot of things we have to beep out. But I think that was a very good explanation of what kind of school we went to.
Can you say that our school doesn't represent most high schools in Japan?
Yeah. We have to say that. That's true. Our school is a very odd school, even in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you guys to know that.
Mm-hmm. But things like sweeping and eating bread on the track field, that's, I would say, more on the Japanese only thing, rather than school only.
Yeah, parts of it are kind of Japanese, I would say. And yeah, that would be it.
Well, that will be our wrap up. Please give a like, subscribe to Double Trouble, Instagram, TikTok. You can check all of that as well. Anything else to plug?
We have a shorts channel, DT Shorts. We are featuring it on our channel, so just go to the channel page, subscribe. It's just funny clips, 10 to 1 minute long. They're very short, concise, very funny. So please subscribe to that as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would say if the people want part 2, we can give it part 2, right?
Honestly, yeah. If you guys comment part 2, we would gladly do part 2.
Good stuff. Well, until then, take care.
And peace!